Yeah, we on JRich. Go ahead, finish. What was you saying?
Oh, all right. So when I talk about generational hate being passed down in this country, case in point, young black teenager, mentally retarded. He doesn't really, you know what I mean? Some of the things he understands, he's high functioning, but he's not all the way there. It's on the football team. Him and his brothers and sisters are the only four black people in this town. They nicknamed them fried chicken. They nicknamed them grape soda. They nicknamed him Kool-Aid, to the point where they even had him singing KKK songs. He didn't know. He didn't have the mental capacity to understand what was going on. They're in the locker room playing around. Boys would be boys. Say, oh, give me a hug. Held this boy down while another boy shoved a hanger in his rectum and kicked it. The judge turned around and said, this isn't a sexual crime. This isn't a hate crime. Let that young man walk out of the court on probation, and with the opportunity that his record could be wiped clear if he doesn't do anything during his probation. So here's a crime that was committed. This boy raped this guy, raped this man. And to this day, this teen has never recovered from this. He had to be hospitalized from the injuries that he suffered. Not only was he hospitalized, then he went through the trauma of trying to go back to school and being harassed by not only the school, the superintendent, his classmates, telling him, oh, you don't want to get your friends in trouble. I don't know what type of friends you have, E, but I don't have any friends to try to sodomize me.
Yeah,
The
that's
boy had a mental breakdown. To this day, he lives in a facility. Never recovered. Never recovered. So before someone says that, oh, that was just a one-time deal, it wasn't. Because it happened again a year later in a different town, where the boys, like 15 boys, held down this 18-year-old, pulled his pants down, and shoved a broomstick up his rectum. And again, the judge feels as though their lives should not be ruined by this one incident of boys being boys. Let them walk.
that's crazy, man. That's crazy.
And all we want is equality. All we want is equality. We're not out here preaching hate. We're not out here saying, like, you know what? I got a gun. I'm going to start shooting every white person I see. It's not even about that. We're out here talking about equality. We're out here talking about justice. We're out here talking about freedom and the land of the free. We're talking about police brutality, where it absolutely blows my mind that you would not back police brutality when statistics, and they bring it up all the time. Well, police kill more white people than blacks. Why aren't you fighting? If they're killing your sons the same way they're killing ours, if they're beating your sons and throwing them on the side of the road like they're doing ours, why aren't you fighting? If they're planting drugs on your daughter or making her turn tricks in order to get out of an arrest, why aren't you fighting?
And I'm glad you mentioned that. Why aren't we fighting? I think one of the things that I was very excited and proud about is that, our youth, they're out there. But I feel a little worried that people of our age and older have given up. I got into a debate with this brother today, and he was just pretty much like, man, I've seen this before. I've seen all this before. Nothing's going to change. I'm done. And I'm like, brother, no, you're quitting. You've the system. You've actually accepted your fate. You know what I mean? He also got into a little bit about, just being black in America. America's the greatest country, and he didn't want to follow and learn his heritage. And I had to tell him, one of the things he has to acknowledge our culture. When you talk about an Italian, they say I'm an Italian American, and they're proud of their heritage. a Greek, or whatever. They say whatever their heritage is, and then American. But for us, it's like we don't want to identify with our history and heritage. And I think that's a problem because when we know ourselves, when we learn ourselves, we know we're more powerful than what we actually have learned here. What I'm trying to say is we're more than just descendants of slaves. Our heritage is more than that. But I want you to talk about, I was rambling a little bit, I want you to talk about what do you say about the guys our age or our elders that are just like, they don't think things are going to change. They just think this is a fad and they're not trying to get out there and support any of the movement.
As long as you continue to do the same thing, then you really shouldn't expect change. Until you are able to get out of your comfort zone and willing to do something different, then nothing different is ever going to happen. I think that getting back to like the whole political thing, as long as, you continue to go out and support a Democratic Party, and expect change, then you're a fool. If you go out and you support a Republican Party and you think that things are going to change, then you're a fool. Because during the Obama administration, for all the Republicans that hated Obama, guess what? Your Republican representatives voted for those measures to pass. For all the Democrats that's mad about what Trump is doing, guess what? Your elected officials are voting for this dude to continue to do what he's doing. They are allowing it to happen. Until you get together and you say, you know what, neither one of both the Democrats and the Republicans are the exact same people, and unless we start giving power, political power, and putting our numbers behind someone else that's going to actually do something, because I think that it's absolutely ridiculous. And this is the question that I posed to a few of my friends. Think that it's absolutely ridiculous that we're approaching 50 years after the civil rights movement and we're in the exact same place. How come when these marches and these protests started off, there was not one black mayor that could call and say, come here and protest, peacefully? You don't have to worry about the police. Not one town, not one all black, town, not one predominantly black city, called us and said, come on down, protest down here. You don't have to worry about the police. That is because we continue to put people in these places that don't have us in mind. They don't have our interests in mind, which goes back. You you keep sending me all this stuff about the Redskins changing their name. I just laugh most of the time. But today, FedEx said that they're going to pull the name off the stadium, and I'm gonna come around and you'll see where I'm going. Nike said that they're no longer going to do, Redskin apparel until they change their name. So out of everything that's going on, we have, elective officials that are taking, tax dollars money for their own personal businesses and calling it a small business loan that they don't have to repay. You have $1 billion.
Easy, JRich. Easy.
Hold on, man.
Easy.
You have $1 billion. You have $1 billion companies taking bailout money after they have signed $1 billion contracts with the government. Now, when Nike says Redskins have to change their name, everybody's like, yeah. Make them change their name. Make them change their name. Cool. Make them change their name. But in the end, when these Republicans and these Democrats don't sign this George Floyd Police Act, is Nike going to stop funding them as well? Is Nike going to say, I'm not giving any more money to politicians that's not about real change? I'm not going to give any money to any politician that does not, serve the people that they were voted in to serve and start dishing out real equality and real justice. It's FedEx going to sit back and say, hey, you know what? We gave your campaign like $1 million. We gave your campaign this, we gave your campaign that, and they give money on both sides. Are they going to say, hey, you know what? What are you doing about police brutality? What are you doing about the court system? What are you doing about this private prison? What are you doing about this state prisons? What are you doing about this over prison? What are you doing about this over policing? If you're gonna focus on the name of a football team to pacify a bunch of people, and if the Redskins change their name, let them change their name. It's not even about that. It's about something much bigger, because they'll put money behind small things that will pacify you. But when it's time to put money to real change, to things that you can actually see, where are they at?
That's interesting. You said that. I'm gonna elaborate on that a little bit. Touch up on it. I do think it's a good thing. I always say if it takes one person, if I'm doing something and 99% of the people are fine with it, but one person feels insulted, I'm going to have to do something because I want everybody to feel righteous. And that's just me.
Mm-hmm.
So I support the name change. But my cousin, shout out to my cousin Derek, I think I mentioned him earlier. He had put something in because the NFL, and this is on what you're saying, the NFL is going to play, and I salute him for this, for trying to make a statement. They're going to, I think, just the first game of the season, but all teams are going to play the Black National Anthem, Lift Every Voice. Okay, so I understand what you're saying because but yes, my cousin was like, yes, I don't, I see my cousin served, and he's like, man, for those that don't know, first of all, the lyrics in the Star Spangled Banner are racist. There's something that, that people, it's a verse that's not even there that we don't say that says something about, it's only for the free. The slaves won't rise or something crazy like that. I got the lyrics, but I don't know. But something like that. But the NFL making it lift every voice and sing is like pacifying because the NFL is what, 80% black? Yet the commissioner had to try to put a rule in place to give NFL teams more draft picks if they hire black coaches. Because there's a problem with hiring black coaches.